All right, welcome everybody to our Central Texas College Live. Ask us anything. This is the opportunity for you to get to know us, get to know our campus, know who we are. If you know what you want to do when you grow up, ask us all the questions. If you want to be a CTC Eagle, if you're not sure how to go about it, everything. This is it. Come and ask questions. We have a great panel here today with us, and they're going to help us with different aspects of CTC. We're going to talk a little bit about what they do. I'm going to have them tell us what they do and how what they do is important to us and maybe to you as well. But to start us off, I guess I should introduce myself. My name is Mariceli Santiago. I am the Director of Student Life and Activities, and it's my job to say hey to you guys. Welcome. We hope that you come see us and check us out. Um, with us, we have a great bunch of individuals that are going to come and help us answer some of these questions from various departments and areas of the school. And so, ooh, look at this. We even have oh, Pearl. We have some great people here. All right. So I'm going to start. And if everybody would just kind of say, hey, Angela, you want to say hey to everybody and kind of tell them who you are, what you do, and why you're here?
Yes, of course. Hello, Eagles and Future Eagles. I am Angela Reese, and I am a professor and the online manager for the Business Administration Department, which also includes hospitality, homeland security, paralegal, accounting technician, logistics and supply chain management, and real estate.
Just a few, you
Just
know.
a few.
Eh. All right. Let's see if we can get Jeff to introduce himself. Can you just let us know who you
Hi,
are?
folks. Hi, folks. I'm Jeff Pyatt, and I am a recruitment coordinator for Central Texas College here in Killeen. Welcome, everyone. I tell folks that a recruitment coordinator is just a fancy name for college recruiter. So often I go out to the different high schools in Killeen ISD, Corpus Cove ISD, some of the private schools, Christian schools, and so on, charter schools, and assist students with the application process, the admissions process. But also we do community events. Like it used to be called Hood Howdy, but it's now called Howdy Y'all at Fort Cavazos and some other community events. So you might see me out in the community somewhere.
Thank you, Jeff. All right. So we have a few fairly new faces. I'm not going to say they're fully new, but I just want to see Jen. Can you introduce yourself and let us know who you are and what you do?
Yep, my name is Jen Stembridge. I am in Veteran Services, and what we do is we work with veterans and their dependents on utilizing their benefits for education.
Perfect. Thank you and welcome.
Thanks.
Let's see, Karen. You want to say hi?
Hello, everyone. My name is Karen Bentley. I'm the new incoming Director of Financial Aid. I have been in this office about 14 years, so bring on the questions for financial aid. We also team with Jeff and going out to the community and out to the high schools and talk about financial aid. Right now, we are extremely busy doing that for our soon-to-be senior high school graduates and getting them to come on board with us and become an Eagle.
Excellent. Now, let's see. Okay, you have to introduce yourself, Pearl, because I'm not going to get too many more chances of doing this. So I have to get it out of my system as many times as I can. So, Pearl, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Pearl Creviston. I am the outgoing Director of Financial Aid, turning over the reins to Karen Bentley, who will do a phenomenal job for CTC. And she cares a great deal about students and making sure that we help you to the best of our abilities, as always.
Awesome. Thank you. And Chandra, I see you in the background. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to turn your camera on, but I don't know if you want to just at least say hey. Oh, there she is. She just needs to unmute herself.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. I'm Chandra Williams. I'm also recruitment at Central Texas College. Just as a repeat of what Jeff was saying, I go out to the schools, give students information about CTC, help them with their application, attend community events, hood howdy. Howdy y'all. So I'm just here to answer any questions today.
Thank you. All right, we have a great panel, so this is the chance. Now we're having, if you're watching us live, you can either join us or you can go ahead and ask any questions through the platforms that we are streaming in live at this time. But I want to go ahead and just kind of start it off. If maybe Jeff, you can tell us a little bit about admissions, what that means in case somebody's interested in actually being a CTC Eagle and coming to take classes with us.
Okay, great. Thanks. As I mentioned earlier, I go out to the different high schools and assistance with the application process. Chandra does that as well. Sometimes we go out together simply because of the volume of students when we try to help them apply for admission. But when you apply for admission, what we would suggest is you go to our website, which is www.ctcd.edu. And at the upper right hand corner, there's a red apply now button, and you're going to apply for admission to CTC. This is if you're going to apply for CTC, you're going to need to create your account first. Okay. Once you get your application submitted, it's going to take about 5 to 7 business days to process that application, provided we don't need additional information. But the application is free. It doesn't cost, obligate, or bind you to anything, and it's good for a year. So let's say you're a senior right now at one of the high schools, and you apply for admission for the fall of 2024. You may not start in the fall of 24, but you may decide to pick up in the spring of 2025. Your application is still good. Your application is still good for the summer of 2025, but for the fall of 2025, you'll need to reapply for admission. Again, the application is free, doesn't cost, obligate, or bind you to anything. Lasts for a year, and you don't have to write an essay because we do have that open admissions policy. Um, Before you can start certain programs at CTC, if it's a level 2 certificate of completion or an associate of applied science degree, you're going to have some kind of placement test. We don't require the SAT or the ACT, but you need at least what we call the TSIE2, Texas Success Initiative Assessment. It's the second version of an assessment test, and a lot of students refer to that as an entrance exam. It's not, it's a placement exam. You might not pass any of it, but that doesn't permit you, that doesn't, you can still get into CTC even if you don't have the passing grade because we have that open admissions policy. As I mentioned, we don't require the SAT or ACT, but if you've taken those, we can look at those scores. But the the TSIE2, it just lets us know where you stand academically. Are you college level, or do you need some kind of developmental class? So before you can register for your classes, you're going to speak with academic advising, and academic advising is going to place you in your classes according to your either your SAT scores, your ACT scores, or your TSIE2. Okay, so you need to make an appointment with that. You can do it virtually, you can do it in person, online, and they'll be glad to help you. For students who are younger than the age of 22 on the first class day, we need proof of bacterial meningitis vaccination for a face-to-face class. If you take an online class only, the bacterial meningitis vaccination isn't required. If you take a combination of online and face-to-face classes, that vaccination is required. And it's probably throughout the state of Texas. If you went to University of Texas, if you went to Texas A&M, if you went to Temple College, you're going to have proof of bacterial meningitis vaccination if you're younger than the age of 22. And I'm just going to briefly mention financial aid because that's Karen Bentley's specialization. But we always tell students how to apply for the financial aid, but financial aid includes grants, which you don't pay back, loans, which you do, and scholarships, which are based on merit. And Karen, I'll let you talk a little bit more about the CTC Foundation scholarships. So that's what I have about admissions. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I will put my name um, in the little chat box here, my email address, and you can feel free to send me an email, and we'll be glad to help. So hopefully we'll see you on campus.
Awesome. Thank you. Um, Very important, guys. We are constantly doing admissions, so it's not like only a specific time. We're constantly always looking at admissions. If you really need some assistance, whatever it may be, we're going to go ahead and help you. Just go ahead and log in and do your thing. Let us know that you're interested, and we'll guide you through the process if that's what you need. So this is just a really quick little bit of information here and there. If you have questions, please go ahead and type them into the chat so that we can go ahead and address them. Karen, can you tell us a little bit more about financial aid? Because that is, ooh, that's a very important aspect of what we do here at CTC. And our students definitely take a lot of advantage of that. So can you tell us how important, some of the important things that they should be aware of right now?
Absolutely. So as Jeff indicated with admissions, FAFSA also has an application process. It is the free application for federal student aid, hence the word free. Should never be paying for a federal application. There are websites out there that will lead you if you're not familiar, but you will want to always complete the free application. And it is available at studentaid.gov. That's also where you can get information about all the various types of gifted money. Gifted money is the free money. As Jeff mentioned, we're talking about the Pell Grant. We actually have a couple of different federal grants. We have state funding and we have institutional grants. Typically, we see that most students attending CTC do not need to take out a student loan. With our tuition rate so low, the total cost of a program, whether you're in state or even out of state, the free money definitely supersedes the cost. Although there are occasions where that is all the student is going to be eligible for, so we do have the loans for that, and we have a great loan department and a loan officer, very knowledgeable, to help guide that student with financial literacy and all about the loans. We also run the federal and state work study program that gives students optional for not only for working part-time as a student, but also building skills. So if someone that's a student has never had a wage earning job, then the work study program is one for you. We try to place students where they, in the field that they are interested in. So if somebody is interested in kinesiology, then we see if there's availability and we put you with that department. For students who apply for admissions, and we see this frequently, they don't think about applying for financial aid because they just don't think that, because of maybe it's the language financial aid, they just don't think that they can. But by at least submitting the FAFSA, though, it does open the door. Even if you're not eligible for gift aid, there's the scholarships, there's outside scholarships. And a lot of times the outside scholarships and sponsors do require to determine how much need that a student may qualify for in order to be able to award that student. I am also available. I can put my information in the chat. Feel free to send your questions over.
All right, Karen, I have to ask, tell us about FAFSA and some of the changes that are going on. Can you give us the newest update? Because I know that there's a difference between the FAFSA for fiscal year 23-24, and then we have this new thing happening for fiscal year 24-25. Can you help us figure out what's going on? What's the latest scoop on that?
Well, I will do the best I can, considering we're living in an unknown era right now. So as of January 31st, there's been like 1.5 million people that have been able to apply for the FAFSA. However, There are a lot of glitches, so we're seeing this out when we go to the community and to the schools. We are seeing that there's a lot of challenges in submitting that FAFSA. There's been, a good piece of it is it has reduced about 60 questions. So it used to be 108 questions, and now it's down to 46 questions. It truly has simplified. Another a barrier that may cause delays in students applying for admissions to the college and considering what their future may look like for, say, the next year for in the fall, is the fact that the colleges are not even getting the FAFSAs yet. So we have no idea how many applications are out there with the school code on it. We know absolutely nothing. And we do receive notifications on a regular basis from Department of Education. And I really wish that I had something more solid to advise. Complete your application. It is available. If you find that it's glitchy, go back to it later on. The application will save where you left off, right? So for the 24-25 application, you'll want to have whether you're a dependent or a dependent student. So it's either a parent or spouse that may need to provide information. You'll want to provide 2022 tax information. Any student that is wanting to come in for the second half of this spring semester and through the summer, you'll want to submit the 2023-24 FAFSA and use 2021 tax information. As we continue to get guidance from the Department of Education, we will be putting that information out on the website.
So I'm going to go out on a limb and just kind of clarify for some people. First of all, it's not on us. This is the Department of Education that's doing this. It's not us. It's nothing that we at CTC can do about it, right? But that means that you're not going to hear from anybody regarding your 24-25 FAFSA until we receive it potentially in March. After that, you all need to be really aware for your emails, right? To make sure that if anything is necessary, that's where we're going to be sending it to. Am I on the right path, Karen?
Yes, absolutely. So when right now the plan is about mid-March that colleges will be receiving the FAFSAs, and we plan to be ready to start offering award packages out to students in April.
I want to add a comment about financial aid. Is when Chandra and I go out and recruit at the high schools, we're dealing with seniors, and completing the FAFSA is a high school graduation requirement by TEA. They started doing that in 2022, so this is the third year, and the counselors are just drilling it in the students' head. You have to complete the FAFSA in order to graduate, or we can't let you walk. So, but I think that most of the seniors are probably aware of that by now, and this is the third year they've done that.
Yes. We just want to make sure that they know that we're here to help them also if they're stuck. And if they need help, that we are willing to help them figure it out. And as much as we're trying to figure it out, we understand that everybody else is trying to figure it out. So we're going to work through this together. I say we, unfortunately, I really don't do anything in financial aid, but I feel like they're part of me. We are a team. So no matter what affects them, it affects me. Plus, for those of you that are looking for work and want to work at the college, I need work studies, y'all. So I need you all to apply so that I can get me a good work study, okay? I'm just going to throw that out there. Okay. So, we're also something else, and I know that this is not necessarily your area, Karen. This is not financial aid per se, but we have a foundation that gives out scholarships to students. And these scholarships are not for right now. These are for next fall. So fall 2025 classes. So if you're in high school and you're a senior and you're thinking, I might go to CTC in the fall, start applying now. Can anybody tell me is it the 28th that it closes? Does anybody know?
The 28th, but it
Yeah.
is, I believe it's for the fall. I believe it's for the fall of 2024.
Fall 2024.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to steal your thunder for just a minute, Karen. Chandra and I went out in the spring. I'm sorry, we went out in the fall to help students with their application so they would have time to apply for that scholarship. And that window was December 1 through February 28th. Their application for admission has to be in order for them to apply for that those foundation scholarships. And in the past, what we've done is we went out in January, February, March, and April for fast track application, and they missed the deadline. So we're going out in the spring, but it is for the fall of 2024.
And if I could just add that I have had correspondence with our foundation office last week, and because so the foundation office is where you apply for the scholarships. Actually, the application is online, and it's a very basic application. No essay is required because they have revised the entire application process. So no separate essay, and that's yay, we don't have to write an essay. So they're looking at, because of the FAFSA and the delay in that, where families are possibly delaying the application for admissions process and so forth, that they are extending that and also possibly opening it up again in the summer for fall classes. So we've been working together. I've been providing our leadership, this is really for everybody, information from Department of Education, just so that all the various departments can make some good informed decisions, especially for our students that are applying for aid, scholarship, application for admissions.
Okay, this is great. We have never done that, but this is what CTC can do, guys. This is not what, we're having to respond to what's going on outside of CTC, and this is one of those responses, and trying to figure out, like, okay, what can we do to help our students? Because if for some reason something happens, from what I know, I mean, the Department of Education was supposed to have everything ready by the 1st of October, and then December, and then now it's open, but we're not going to get anything until March. So we're trying to respond to that by make sure that you as a student are taken care of. And if you need financial assistance, we're going to be able to help you. This is highly important. We have never done it where we have that many open time slots to be able to apply for any kind of scholarship. So please take advantage of it. I would definitely, even if you're just considering coming to CTC and not sure, go ahead and apply right now to our scholarships from the foundation. And you could just look that up on our website. There's a scholarships link and you can find it there. Take advantage of it. This is really great. And I don't know about y'all, but I like free money. And if y'all are willing to give me money, so I'm not, I went through the admissions process again because I am a lifelong learner. So I'm doing admission through CTC again because I want to take some classes. So I'm going to be looking at all these little things to see what's going on. So this is kind of great.
I have a question for Karen. I know that their application for admission has to be in order for them to apply for the scholarship through the foundation. Do they have to have the FAFSA completed? Do you know?
Typically for foundation scholarships, it's not based on need. So
okay.
That is not, it's when they're utilizing outside sponsorship for scholarships often that do require some kind of proof.
Yes.
Okay. And Award Spring is the website where you'll create the account to complete your application. I'll do this one.
Okay. So it's really easy. I think what you're talking about is the application for the scholarship. I'm going to share it real quick because this is something that we normally don't necessarily do, but we're going to take advantage of. So this is our CTC webpage, the main webpage. This is what you would see if you're trying to get in. And so we have a lot of fun stuff going on. Yes, we're going to have the eclipse and all these other things. But if you go, what's happening? Okay, under students and you go scholarships, then you're going to see this is our scholarship page to apply. And what he was talking about is Award Spring is the program that we use for scholarships. And then, but there's this big red button, apply for scholarships. You create your login information, and then you can apply to, by just filling out one application, you can apply to all of these potentials at once. You're going to figure out what you qualify for and what you don't. So this is why we want you guys to actually take the time and fill this out, because you're going to see that we have a lot of options, and these are for different reasons, different things. So again, take advantage of the free money, guys. I don't know about y'all, but I like my free money, and if I can get some help, I'm going to take it, especially with its no strings attached. So um, let's see. Oh, do I have a question here? The other questions, let's talk a little bit about now. I don't know what to do. I need to, oh wait, I haven't talked to Veteran Services. Hey, I'm so sorry. I don't want to leave you out, Jen. I apologize. That was so rude of me. My natural progression of things. You're a little fuzzy for some reason, but you're still there. So, can you tell us a little bit about some of the stuff that students need to know about, you know, using veteran services? And there's multiple types, and it gets really confusing. So, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, absolutely. I know that it seems a little overwhelming, and I often get students in here um, that seem a little overwhelmed, but by the time they leave my office or any of our offices up here, they are a little more at ease with the process. Um, First and foremost, before we can start to process on our side, they have to be registered for the classes. So kind of the first step for students is to make sure that they are enrolled and registered in those classes. Um, there seems to sometimes be a little miscommunication with them where they think that they can't enroll until we've done our part, but it's opposite of that. So the other thing is that we also will sometimes get people in here that um, have not applied for their benefits yet. And that's another thing that they have to do. And that's by going to va.gov to apply for those benefits. And if it's a dependent, they're only going to be able to be approved for those benefits if the service member has allotted those benefits to them or if they've received them in other ways. Um, so one thing that I have created up here is we have, you're probably not going to be able to see it. We have a little form here that I've got like this different steps out on here. So, and I can send that over if you want to put it up anywhere. But it basically is kind of a step-by-step guide on what needs to be done. So they have to apply for the benefits. They have to be registered for classes. And then the last step is that they need to do VEC, and that is the Veterans Enrollment Certificate. And that's what lets us know to let the VA know that you're going to utilize your benefits. And this is a very important step because if we don't tell the VA that you're using your benefits, they don't know that you're using them. We don't certify them. There's just no way of knowing that. This is also really important if classes change for any reason, if they're dropped, or if, say, you are partway through the term and you decide to pick up an 8-week class at the end. We need to have another VEC because, again, the VA doesn't know unless we tell them what's going on. So we're up here and we're in building 215 and here to help students whenever they need help with questions regarding their benefits. And if we can't answer them, we will definitely, find a way to help them get their questions answered.
Thank you very much, Jen. Now,
Ma'am.
you guys cover what we call the Montgomery, GIville, Hazelwood, and am I missing something else?
So we've got post 9/11, and so it's chapter 33, 31, 30, 35, 1606. I mean, the only thing that up here we don't do is the TA, which is when, active duty. So we don't handle that part, but any other parts we can absolutely help with.
Okay. So yeah, so they are once they get out of the military active duty, then that's when most of the time that stuff kicks in. Occasionally they can do it while in, but for the most
Correct.
part, it's active after they're in active duty status. Okay, so let me see. I know that I get a lot of questions regarding like the Kate Center and a lot of the students that work or that they want to take classes in some of our programs that are more on the technical side and are self-paced. For example, like welding, building trades, and stuff like that. How does it work for them? Because I know it's kind of similar and yet slightly different.
It's just a matter of, I mean, there is a very, very long list of ones that we can certify for as far as those other kinds of classes go that aren't necessarily an associate's. And so it's kind of a matter of how we verify them. So it's kind of a tricky one because we have such a long list that we can certify just about everything that we offer, we're able to certify. So my biggest recommendation is if a student has a question, if it's going to be certifiable or not, they can come to us. There's also a website that I will find where they can look on there to find out if it's something that we will cover. Another thing is that a lot of students will ask us what's considered full-time to the VA because we've got so many different things. So when it comes to 16-week courses, that's 12 credits. If it's 8 weeks, 6. And then for like welding, carpentry, and automotive, that's 22 clock hours. And then we've got the medical billing and coding, which is 18. So it's going to just depend on exactly where you're going. So I will find that website and drop it in the chat as well.
I just know that I've seen that question many, many times, and I never know what to say. And I'm usually like, you got to talk to veteran services.
Yeah, it's kind of a confusing one, but I definitely recommend talking to us, but I will also send you a link to that website.
Great, thank you.
No
Yeah,
problem.
and that's what happens a lot of times. You know, I can answer almost any generic questions, but sometimes those deep ones, those are hard. Those are very hard because there's so many little caveats to all these little things. Um, so it's really important that you take the time and ask questions. I know that they're working really hard to be able to get back to everybody as quickly as possible and get answers, but give us time to be able to get back to you and help you out. Now, if you don't, let's talk about now what the types of classes that we have because there's a lot of different ways that you can take a class with CTC. Some of them I'm barely starting to figure out. It feels like the faculty is constantly trying to figure out how to get to the students and give them a new option to take classes. And so I'm going to see if Dr. Angela Reese can please let us know what the heck is going on with all these different types of classes and what are they and how can students benefit from them?
Most certainly. Yes, 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 and yes. So, one thing I wanted to follow up with from a prior comment was regarding the fact that we are basically here 24/7 in order to help you get started with your courses. Part of the reason for that is because we are a very unique, non traditional type of community college. So, we don't just have classes in the long semesters for the fall, for the spring, and then short semesters in the summer. Now, don't get me wrong, we have all that. Plus, we have almost monthly start dates throughout the entire year to best serve you and also your unique needs as well. So in addition to that, with our monthly start dates, we also have different lengths of courses. So we do have the 16-week in the fall and the spring. We also have some 12-week and 10-week and 8-week and 6-week and 5-week and 4 and all the way down to 3. So depending on what it is that you're looking for and when you're looking to take classes, that is one thing that I really like to stress to our students is make sure that you are paying attention when you go to register for classes what it is you're signing up for. So that's one thing to look out for. How long is the course? And also, when does it start and when does it end? I'm going to back up just a minute here and also just add in a little financial aid tidbit there that if you are looking at all those different start dates and you have financial aid, and I'm not sure about VA, so Jen, I'll let you pop in on that one, but it has to all be in the same term. So if you're trying to be full-time, you need to make sure that you are starting and ending in the same semester in order to be covered. Is that also true for VA? Okay. Awesome. So make sure that you are paying attention to that so that you don't mess up that money. You definitely want to make sure that your money is taken care of. And when in doubt, what are you going to do? Ask. You're going to ask anytime you have a question, just to double check and triple check and make sure you are good to go. So, okay. So we know that we have a lot of start dates, a lot of end dates, also various lengths of those courses. On top of that, we have a lot of delivery modes in order to best suit your needs. So most certainly we have the standard lecture courses to where you come to class at a certain day, certain time with your professor, and have what you might be thinking of for the typical type college experience. So 100% we have that. Then we also have what we like to call OBL, or blended courses. That is where part of the time is spent in the classroom and the other half of the time is spent doing assignments and activities through the online realm of Blackboard. So most of our courses do have some connection to this virtual classroom. And don't think, oh my gosh, okay, now you're talking virtual, you're talking about getting online. I didn't want any part of that. The good news is that we are going to help you through all of the training for that as well. We have presentations just like this to cover, helping you to understand how to use this online feature. Your instructors are going to help you. We have orientations. It's fantastic. So don't let that part scare you. All right. So we know we've got lecture, regular. We know we have blended, where it's part lecture, part online. We also have fully online courses. With those online courses, we have some to where you would do something similar to what we're doing right here. It's called an SVL, synchronous virtual learning class. So instead of coming to campus, you would log into your class and have basically like what we're doing right now at a specific date at a specific time. And when you go to register, it's going to show you that. It's going to say online meeting time required, and it will tell you when it is, what day of the week, everything. Now, if you're thinking that is way too much interaction, I just want to, kind of sit behind the computer and I'm going to do things at my own time, at my own pace, we've got you covered there too. So we have regular online classes to where you do not have to commit to anything face-to-face, anything online, other than working on your classes. So they have start dates, they have end dates, and they have due dates in between. So we do have that as well. Another format is that we have, and all of a sudden I cannot remember the name of it. Maybe it'll come to me. High tech. Give me just a second. Maybe somebody can help.
High tech. Oh,
Hybrid?
No.
It's
not hybrid.
It's not hybrid. Give me just a second. I'll look it up in just a minute. But basically, it is a format to where you have the option of either coming to campus to take the course or doing it online like this. So let's just say you really want a lecture course, but maybe you're sick, or maybe your kid's sick, or something happens and you just can't come to campus. You have the option of staying at home and streaming in live to that class. So that is a newer format we're doing. The math department is testing it out for us this semester, as well as a few other departments. And that might be something that we will definitely, or we'll be looking to pick up in other departments as well. So make sure, again, when you go to register, you look to see what all is out there for you. And I just realized that I missed one. I know so many. So when I said that we have the regular online to where you don't have to commit to a certain day, a certain time or anything, those are our traditional OLL courses. We also have what we call OSL courses, online self-paced. Now, kind of a tricky name because it's not what you might be thinking in self-paced. It's self-paced with milestones. So there's a part of it to where, you might have a few weeks to get your stuff done, but then after a few weeks, maybe it's in week 3, for example, then your instructor is going to say, okay, we're in week 3, this is it, this is nothing after this date can be submitted. So that is called a milestone, and you would have multiple milestones along the way. So lots to think about when you're registering for your classes. Look for when your class starts, when it ends, what the duration is, meaning how long it is, and then also the delivery mode, meaning are you coming to campus? Are you sitting at home in your PJs working on it? Are you getting to do it at 2 a.m? Because that's what works with everything else that you're committed to in life. So we are here to best suit your unique situation. Also, just keep in mind that some of our classes that aren't that don't have as many enrollments or kind of some smaller programs, they might not have as many options for you. And if you're looking for something specific and you can't find it, what do you think you should do? Ask. Yay, Marcelli. So reach out to the department, reach out to the advising team, reach out to the Eagles on Call. We are all here to support and help you to figure out what is going to be best for you and ensuring that you're able to find it.
Yes. Excellent. Oh, so one of the things we talked about that we really need to make sure that we cover is, okay, a lot of times you hear students say, oh my God, those materials are so expensive. That book, I don't want to spend all that money. Oh my God. How realistic is that right now? What can our students do with a lot of these classes to be able to save some money?
So I'm glad you asked that question. Very good one. We actually have a variety of options for you now when it comes to the course materials. One thing that you are going to see as you start enrolling and doing the research for the different classes, sometimes, there are materials that are needed that are going to be more expensive than in some of the other courses. But we also have several courses that are what we call OER courses, open educational resources, meaning that the book for that course is free unless you wanted to print it out and spend the money to have it printed. The ebook is actually free, or it might have PDF chapters that you can open up in your course, or it might have links to different videos and different government resources depending on the content. And so we're really trying to move in the direction to where it is most affordable for you. From time to time, though, there are some that do require some of the more expensive books for a specific reason. But just note that there are so many out there in which you are able to utilize those free resources. Another great question, if you're thinking, well, this upcoming semester, maybe I don't have my financial aid and my VA set up, but I really want to start a course. So you might reach out to the department and say, hey, of all the courses that you have, do any of them by chance have OER? And the departments will be able to tell you, hey, for example, Introduction to Business Principles. It is on a lot of degree plans. And even if it's not on your degree plan, it's a part of the Common Core. So it is a course that you could take. We're all going to be working for a business, so why not take that course? But it does have a free book in which you are able to utilize without purchasing anything.
Yes, so those are options also, just in case if people have issues with financial aid, and sometimes it's a little bit hard, and you're trying to figure out, because okay, so for a lot of this financial aid, if the federal government's giving you money, they want to make sure the class you're taking is part of your degree plan, right? Right? Can I get a yes from Jen and Karen?
Yes.
That's how that is, right? So this is a great tip. If you're stuck at one moment and you're like, I don't want to stop taking my classes, but I need a little bit of extra help, right now they just told you a tip on how to make sure that you can still keep your education going, because that is how you figure it out, so that you're not stuck, you're not staying behind until you can get everything rolling. Anybody have anything else to add on that? Nope, nope. Nope. Okay, just checking. So that right there is a really, really good tip for those of you that are maybe trying to figure out how to start your classes or pay for your classes for a semester. That's one way of doing it. I'm a fan of it because if I don't have to pay for, again, did I tell you guys that I really like not to have to pay for anything? And if it gets paid for me, it's even better. Um, that's why I recommend you do this. These are great things. Now, I have not asked everybody here present, what is their one tip for every single student to be successful? And so I can't, forget that. So do you want to start it off, Dr. Reese, and let us know your thoughts?
I do. And I think you might guess what it is that I am going to say. I don't know. I don't know. So, yes, communicate. I don't know if you liked my little singing voice. I thought it maybe add a little something this time. We need to communicate with everyone. Anytime you have a question, ask. Truly, truly, truly throughout the entire process when you're in the middle of your courses. And I'm going to bring you an example from today that I received an email from somebody that from back in August of 23 had an issue that they are just now asking me about. They just, I guess, were not comfortable and now they're trying to figure things out. And we're still going to help. We are still going to help move forward. But that is a really long time to wait and not know an answer to what's going on with your educational journey. So please communicate. Please ask us questions. Once you're in your classes and you've got a faculty member that you've kind of connected with, we're here for you. Please ask us anything. We are happy to help, even if it doesn't pertain to the subject of our course. If you message me in class and say, hey, I really want to get into a club, well, I know who to connect you with. So
That's me. Sorry.
That's right, Sally. So make sure to ask those questions, reach out to us. We are 150% waiting for you to reach out to us.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Reese. Let's see. Jen, do you want to take the next one?
Absolutely. So absolutely what Dr. Reese said, communication is key. Like I said, anytime something changes with your classes, let us know with a new VEC. But my number one tip for VA students is register as soon as you can and get that VEC to us as soon as you can, because turnaround time is a little bit slower when we get closer to, the start of the next term or, the end of the term. So register quick, get the VEC in as quick as you can so that our turnaround time is better.
Definitely. Yes. And I think we don't have anybody from advising here, but I know for a fact that that's something that they would truly support wholeheartedly because we really always want to help, but it's so hard when you wait till like the week before classes to start to try to get everything done. We want to help you, but there's going to be all these other people too that want to do the same thing. So the sooner the better, which is why we're having these conversations now so that hopefully you'll start thinking about, oh yeah, let me get that ball rolling now before it's really, really close and it can be kind of hard.
Yeah.
So
Our team up here did a really great job the last couple of terms with our turnaround, but we want to make it so that, we get it in as soon as we can, we get it done quickly so that you're not waiting for your benefits to come in. So register quick, do the VEC quick.
awesome. Thank you.
Thanks.
That is great. Oh, and also if you're a VA student, you also need to do the VA portion of it, right? Get that
Correct.
letter approval, and that takes some time.
Correct.
That takes even
Yes.
longer sometimes.
Yes. If you just really quick side note, sorry, that certificate of eligibility can take up to 30 days for it to process. So if you're wanting to utilize benefits and you've never used them before, you need to apply for them the sooner the better so that by the time those classes roll around, we have that certificate because that can affect your start date or, if you get dropped or not.
Yes, thank you very much. Okay, Jeff, you're next on my line. And it's Jeff, and then Karen, and then Chandra. I haven't asked a lot of you, but I'm going to ask a tip from you. I'm giving you that warning, okay?
So Dr. Reese mentioned ask questions, and I would suggest go to class.
Ooh.
And I don't care if it's an 8 o'clock class, 3 o'clock class, or whatever it is, because sometimes life happens. And I went to a community college for a couple years, and I transferred to to what is now Texas State. And when it was time for uh, final exams, final exams weren't the same class period as they weren't the same time as my class period, and I overslept because I studied the night before. I stayed up late studying, and I was late for my exam. And when I walked into uh, where they were taking the exam, I asked the professor. I said, "I overslept. Can I take this test?" And he said, "Yes, you can." And I think he allowed me to take that test because he saw me in class every time. He didn't have to let me take that class. So the classes were small enough. It was it was Texas State. It was I don't know, probably 30 students in the classes. There weren't 300, but he didn't have to let me take it. But he saw I was responsible enough to go to class on time, and he knew I was there. So he was easy on that. I thought I'm fixed to fail the class, but I passed the
I
class.
think I would agree that almost, if not every single faculty member that I've ever talked to are prefer to see you at least making an effort than not. I don't know. I don't know, Dr. Reese, you want to second that real quick? Because I know for a fact it's like I haven't heard from the student. I'm trying to help, but they're not getting back to me.
We want to help. We want to be there. We want to support you. But if we
And
don't know who you are, it's really hard to do that. Even in an online class, if you're not participating and, here it is the last week and you tell me about all the things that have happened over the last 4 months, it's really hard to help after the fact. And I understand life happens and it's hard to always communicate, but find the time. This is your education. This is your future.
and 8 o'clock classes aren't that different. They're not any different than having to go to work at 8 o'clock in the morning. If you do your classes early, you have the afternoon and evening for a part-time job if necessary.
Yeah.
So I had lots of morning 8 o'clock classes.
And everybody's a little different, and there's different ways. But if you get stuck, talk. Hey, communicate. Let your faculty, let somebody know. Hey, I'm stuck. Life happens. A lot of our students, of course, also, they work, have a family, try to balance all these things. We get it, but communication, communication. Go to class, do your stuff early. Try to get it knocked out. I think those are great. Okay, Karen, you're up. What's your tidbit?
Well, I'll just piggyback on some great comments. Similar to what Jen mentioned as far as getting the VEC in, get your FAFSA in early. The earlier you get it in, the more likely you'll get your award and you'll be ready to register for your classes. When you're in your classes and you're not doing well, communicating is extremely important. Utilizing the tutoring services. If you're on campus, utilizing the labs. There is a team. Who you see just on the screen right now is nothing compared to the team that you have available here at CTC and the professionals here. Should anything start happening, come see us in financial aid. We can also help navigate. We can also explain to you about academic progress and meeting standards, because you don't want your financial aid to be in jeopardy of losing it. It's so important, so very important.
Yes. And I've seen that sometimes where they don't ask questions and then they're trying to come back and, well, I don't have the GPA and I can't use my financial aid yet or something like that. And that's always difficult for us because we're like, no, but we want you to do it. Come on, we want to be cheerleading for you, but there's only so much we can do if you wait too much. So thank you, Karen. That's very important. Thank you. All right,
And it's
Chandra.
just one addition, like Dr. Reed said, life happens. We know life happens, and hence why communication is so important. And I can't reiterate that enough, that we understand that life happens. We want to help you if we're able to get you through it, or at least make a plan B for the next semester, so that you can regroup and can be able to continue on.
Great. Thank you. Okay, Chandra, you ready? You have it?
Yeah, I got it. So, my tip is, especially for the young people, being alumni of Central Texas College and going to a lot of local schools around in the area, to take advantage of the opportunities that they have out here. When I was going to school here, the scholarships definitely, we had to write an essay. So, with the essay not being there, they definitely need to take advantage of that. It's so easy. All you have to do is just, put your contact, your information in there, so and it picks it for you. Um, and another thing is that we did not mention with the scholarships earlier, especially to the students across the street from us, the Gray Wolves at Shoemaker High School, take advantage of that scholarship opportunity. It's a full ride from Central Texas College onto Texas A&M University, Central Texas. So, my advice is just to take advantage of the opportunities that we have here, like the tutoring services are here. We're really just trying to make it a full-blown, campus. I mean, everything is here. You got the cafeteria, you got the gym, you got the library, you got the dorms, so it has really grown since I have been here. So my tip is just to take advantage of all these opportunities that we have and that we offer here at CTC.
Yes, thank you, Chandra. This is perfect. This is exactly where I wanted to go, but you said it so nicely. We have so much to offer, so much. I am part of what we call student success and persistence. We just want you to be successful and finish what you start. I mean, that's really all that we focus on is in different aspects of how we can support you so that you can be successful. Um, One of the things that we also do is the new student orientation, which a lot of the people that you met today participate in as well in one way or another. So definitely make sure that you're participating in that. If you want to come check it out, please sign up at the website ctcd.edu/NSO. Yes, Dr. Reese.
I just wanted to add, also with that, y'all got me thinking, and I put in the a link in the chat for all of the academic departments. There are 26 academic departments, and if you think of the one I'm a part of, our one department really has like 8 different departments in one. So go check it out. Check out the fact that math has robotics. Check out the fact that you can become an aviator. Check out the fact that you can be a small business owner, entrepreneur. There are so many opportunities out there that are there waiting for you. So please come and check out and explore all we have to offer.
Definitely. I saw something um, that our library blows me away sometimes. They have all kinds of events, and today, please go check out in their website. They were doing an adulting class, which I thought was great. And they're gonna do some cooking class and stuff. Check out their stuff. Um, they do help with the academics. Don't get me wrong. You can send them your work if you have like a research project. You send it to them. They'll check your citations. They'll make sure that you're not gonna get in trouble with faculty for that or lose points because of that. Because faculty does not like it if you don't cite correctly. So they will check all of that. They'll check your grammar. They'll make sure it makes sense, all of that, and then they'll send it back to you so that you can fix. That way, once you give it to your faculty member, all of that's taken care of. Like our library will do that. That's just like one tiny example of what we have here to offer, and we give it to you for free. Our tutoring services. I always like my picture. I took this picture of this building right here. This is the building where I'm located. And in this building right there, in the second floor, we have our academic studio. Completely free tutoring. So don't pay. You don't even have to pay for it. You can be in person or you can do it virtually. You just have to make an appointment. We have a lot. We have free mental health services, counseling, which I recommend. I would almost say every single student should go through it, just because becoming a student can be really challenging, especially if you're trying to balance life with everything else. Just go check in with them. Say, hey, I might need some help. I want to meet you. That's it. That's it. That's all you have to do. It doesn't matter. Like, just life happens. Um, so we have a lot of great services. Take advantage of them all. I want to say thank you. Any last words of wisdom before we stop because we're at time?
Right quick. One thing, I guess my microphone is on. One thing that when Chandra and I go out and recruit students, we encourage them not to use their school district email address, but I suggest that they have a professional email address when they start looking for a job, because if they have something silly if I'm a hiring manager, it's going to look like junk or spam to me, and I'll never see their application, particularly if it's something inappropriate. I think you want a first name dot last name kind of email when you start looking for a job.
So you mean sexy mama?
Sexy
69
mama
is
at
not gonna
Gmail
work?
or hot trucker dude, that you need something a little bit better than that.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll scratch. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. And that's another thing we do. We have a career services
Mhm.
office that for free will actually help you try to figure out how to do a good resume, how to dress for an interview. They'll do mock interviews, and they have like a job board available for all of our students and our alumni. So those are you can use those services not just while you're a student, but also beyond. All right. We need to wrap this up. We're at time. Thank you very much to all of our participants. Please don't go away because I need to talk to Jeff and Chandra. Don't go away. But thank you guys for doing this. As always, I can't do all of this without you. You are great, and thanks for helping with all these questions. And we'll talk again soon. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.